I'm Adrian, the cruise and travel guy, and in this week's cruise news update. Resilient Lady is just days away from making a splash in Sydney. Life at Sea cancels its 3-year world cruise. Passengers left stranded in Brisbane. And Carnival Corp says no more to Melbourne. There's all that and more coming up now. Virgin Voyages is just days away from making its big red scarlet debut in Sydney Harbour. Resilient Lady reached the shores of Australia for the first time on Monday when she arrived alongside Darwin's Wharf Precinct. The ship is continuing its run down the east coast of Australia and is expected to be in the vicinity of Sydney Harbour by around 4 p.m. on Monday, December 4th. The ship is scheduled to pull alongside the overseas passenger terminal at about 7 p.m. and the guests on board will enjoy one final night before they disembark early on Tuesday. Royal Caribbean, meanwhile, has taken delivery of the world's largest cruise ship. The 250,000 gross ton vessel will be capable of carrying almost 10,000 people at maximum capacity, that is both crew and passengers. Her handover to the cruise line is only the first step, though, in preparing for her inaugural sailing on January 27th. The ship will sail from Finland to Spain, where she will undergo the rest of her fit-out with a focus on the hotel side of things. Sheets will be washed, glassware plates and cutlery will be unboxed, and furniture and artwork will be unwrapped and positioned in the right places. I've linked to my recent video where you can learn more about the 8 fantastic neighborhoods on board Icon of the Seas. The second Icon class ship, Star of the Seas, will sail from Port Canaveral in the Northern Hemisphere summer of 2025, and sailings on that ship go on sale on December 6th. I last spoke about Life at Sea's plans for a 3-year world cruise in October. At that time, CEO of Mirai Cruises Kendra Holmes was unable to confirm which ship would even be sailing this 3-year cruise, and that was despite the departure being scheduled for barely 2 months from that date of her interview. Although Holmes intimated that the ship MV Lara was a potential candidate, it was recently revealed that the vessel was purchased by Greek cruise line Celestial Cruises in mid-November. With no ship to sail on, the world cruise has been cancelled in its entirety. With a balcony cabin for 2 people costing almost $600,000 for the full 3-year trip, this was no cheap experience. Now those who had paid up have been promised a refund in installments that should run through to February next year. A number of people were left more than disappointed on Tuesday when they arrived at Brisbane's International Cruise Terminal ready to board Quantum of the Seas for an 8-night South Pacific holiday, only to learn that they didn't have a cabin. I reached out to Royal Caribbean's local office for a comment and received the following statement. In part, it reads, "The demand for the recent November 28 cruise on board Quantum of the Seas went beyond the rooms that were available. Unfortunately, efforts to accommodate all those who wished to sail fell short for a group of our guests, and some were unable to sail as planned. Each impacted guest was given various options to choose from, including alternative sail dates or a refund and a future cruise credit. We take these disruptions seriously and we apologize for the inconvenience this has caused. Guaranteed stateroom cabins are nothing abnormal, and in fact, most people that book a guaranteed stateroom will find out what that cabin is in the week leading up to departure, if not well before that. And although cruise lines do oversell particular cabins and cabin categories, it's very, very uncommon for this to happen at the pier, and in most cases, cruise lines such as Princess Cruises in particular will spend time calling their customers in the weeks leading up to departure with an offer to either move or sail in a reduced cabin category. So this is something that was very different indeed. Carnival Corporation has given the flick to the city of Melbourne. Both Princess Cruises and Cunard will reportedly ditch the city in 2025 and beyond, citing an unreasonable tax hike. The company's chief strategy officer, Teresa Lloyd, said that despite the city's broad appeal to both international and domestic guests, the recent decision by Ports Victoria to significantly and unexpectedly increase fees led to the hard decision to leave the city behind. The fee increase of 15% will come into effect from January 1 and will see the per passenger port fees jump from $28.50 to almost $33, but allegedly that tax hike is set to repeat and compound over the next 3 years. The extra funds will reportedly go towards helping maintain Melbourne's historic station pier. However, the $5.7 billion cruise industry only benefits Victoria to the tune of about $380 million per year, That's in comparison to New South Wales' $1.7 billion slice per year. And I can't see that going up with these recent changes. Virgin Voyages has even voiced their concern over the rate increase, urging the Victorian government to reconsider unnecessary obstacles and barriers to the industry's growth within the state. Well, unless something significant happens, this is going to be my final cruise news update for the year, and that's because I'm about to take off on a couple of big trips. So if you haven't subscribed, now is the time to do that. I will be bringing you a lot of fresh cruise content to the channel, including ship tours, cabin tours, reviews, and the rest of it. So please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your viewership. And if you are looking to book a cruise, you can head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguide.com.au, and give me a follow if you want to stay on track with where I am and what I'm doing on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guide. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Nope, we don't need that. Where the guests on board will enjoy one final night in the Sydney Harbour City. That's not right. Where the guests on board will enjoy one final night on board. And the guests on board will enjoy one final night in the Harbour City before disembarking on Tuesday. The ship will sail to Spain. The ship will sail to Spain, where she will undergo the remainder of her pre-cruise getting ready stuff. The second Icon class ship, Star of the Seas, meanwhile, will launch from the Port's Victoria decision to raise the rates and fees. What? And that pales in comparisons to New South Wales. What? Did I say comparisons?